James Gunn may be reinventing DC with Superman, but there's one scene in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel that proves why Henry Cavill is still the best Superman. Despite the many flaws that pepper the Snyderverse, there were moments that made the DCU a classic worth revisiting again and again, especially when James Gunn turns DC on its head with his vision of the rebooted universe. Hello, viewers. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more videos. Meanwhile, the DCU will always be a constant presence in pop culture history for its otherworldly contribution to the CBM industry. No matter how hard you try to ignore the impact of the controversial trilogy, Snyder and his films will continue to impress audiences with their many near-perfect scenes, cinematography, world-building, and exceptional character arcs. While the Snyderverse now rests in a corner of Warner Brothers' basement, fans are revisiting the moments that made the DCU a living legacy. Regardless of Superman's iconography and comic book lore, DC has never been able to nail the entire superhero with any single iteration of the character. Richard Donner and Christopher Reeve came close to making Superman, the movie in 1978, but the era was still mired in so many gender matchups that it made parts of the film difficult to watch. Like Daniel Craig did with James Bond, Henry Cavill arrives at DC to tackle a highly innovative, radically original, darker, more liberal take on the universally known character. However, Zack Snyder's iteration of Superman didn't sit well with the broader spectrum of comic book fans, some of whom were more than happy to call him out for Clark Kent's volatile identity. For all its shortcomings and internal conflict, there was one aspect of 2013's Man of Steel that united every DC fan, old and new, in a moment that turned every audience member into a wide-eyed child filled with wonder. It was the moment that turned Cavill into a popular culture hero and signaled the true birth of Superman, First Flight. While the world may be embroiled in a childish battle between the DCU and the DCU, there's a near-perfect moment in time built into Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. The film contains such a stunning scene that nothing in a James Gunn Superman film can come close to the perfection of Henry Cavill's turn. In the 2013 film, Cavill's Superman finally confronts his true identity as savior and protector as he wears blue and red in the isolated polar peaks of the Arctic. As he steps into the frame against a stark white backdrop of snow and ice, Cavill kneels and places his fist on the ground as vibrations take over the screen, unnerving the audience as they stare at the screen in breathless anticipation. The next moment, Hans Zimmer's music, the cinematography, Superman launching into space, leaping across fields of ice before finally flying into, above and beyond the clouds, is chilling, breathtaking, emotional, and iconic. And no moment in James Gunn's Superman can recreate the subtle ecstasy of the spectacle that Man of Steel gave DC fans.
Cavill was born in Jersey, the largest and southernmost of the Channel Islands, which are dependent territories of the British Crown and are located off the coast of Normandy, France. He is the fourth of 5 sons of Marianne Cavill, née Dalgliesh, a secretary, and Colin Cavill, a stockbroker. The family lived in St. Helier, where Henry Cavill grew up playing computer games with his brothers. At age 13, he left Jersey to attend the Stowe School, a boarding school in Buckinghamshire, England. At Stowe, Cavill developed an interest in acting and participated in school productions, including Grease, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Tom Stoppard's Dog's Hamlet. At age 16, he and his classmates had the opportunity to be extras in the movie Proof of Life, 2000, starring Russell Crowe. While on set, Cavill introduced himself to the recent Oscar winner, who encouraged him to pursue acting professionally. Cavill soon landed a role in Vendetta, 2001, followed by another in Kevin Reynolds' big-screen adaptation of The Count of Monte Cristo, 2002. For the part of Albert Mandego, Cavill, who has said that he was teased for being overweight as a kid, was encouraged to lose several pounds. In addition, Cavill had guest roles in a number of British television shows as well as supporting parts in the coming-of-age film I Capture the Castle, 2003, and an adaptation of the Celtic romance Tristan plus Isolde, 2006. During this period, Cavill auditioned for several iconic roles, including Superman and James Bond, which ultimately went to Brandon Routh in Superman Returns and Daniel Craig in Casino Royale, both 2006, respectively. Those setbacks led him to consider following in the footsteps of two of his elder brothers and joining the armed forces. In 2007, however, Cavill garnered his first leading role in The Tudors, a cable series following the exploits of Henry VIII, played by Irish actor Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. Cavill portrayed Charles Brandon, a loyal courtier to the king. The series helped make Cavill a familiar face, and during its 4 seasons, 2007 to 10, he also appeared in such films as the adventure fantasy Stardust, 2007, and the Woody Allen comedy Whatever Works, 2009. After The Tudors, Cavill proved his skill as an action star, playing Greek hero Theseus in Immortals, 2011, and the son of a CIA agent, played by Bruce Willis, in The Cold Light of Day, 2012. In 2011, Cavill announced that he had been cast as Clark Kent/Superman in Man of Steel, 2013. He later admitted that he had missed the call from director Zack Snyder offering him the job because he had been playing the online game World of Warcraft. To portray the Man of Steel, Cavill transformed his body, adding so much muscle that he sometimes split the seams of his Superman costume. He also had the opportunity to work alongside Crow, who played Superman's father. Jor-El. Cavill went on to reprise the role in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, 2016, starring opposite Ben Affleck as Batman, and in Justice League, 2017, featuring such DC comic book heroes as Wonder Woman, played by Israeli actress Gal Gadot. In between Superman films, Cavill starred in director Guy Ritchie's big-screen adaptation of The Man from UNCLE, 2015, playing a CIA agent who teams up with a KGB agent, played by Armie Hammer, and in Sandcastle, 2017, portraying a Special Forces captain on a 2003 tour of Iraq. Cavill then played the main antagonist in Mission Impossible Fallout, 2018, the 6th installment of Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible series. In 2019, he assumed the lead role in the hit Netflix series The Witcher, based on the novels by Polish author Andrzej Sapkowski, whose sources include Polish mythology and Slavic folklore. Cavill played Sherlock Holmes, the elder brother of aspiring sleuth Enola Holmes in the movies Enola Holmes, 2020, and Enola Holmes 2, 2022. In 2022, Cavill had a cameo as Superman in Black Adam, renewing speculation that he was planning a return to the role 5 years after Justice League. Cavill confirmed the rumors in the fall, but a couple of months later he wrote on Instagram that the studio had decided to go in a different direction.